How's that, Denise?
Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining us today. We are taking you on a little walk through some great destinations within North America. Now's a great time to start rediscovering what we have right here. My name's Denise. I am the owner at Higgins Travel, and joining us today is Nancy Bauman. She is our representative from the Globus family of brands. And I'm going to just let Nancy take it away from here and let you know what they have to offer. Thank you,
Great.
Nancy.
You're so welcome. Thanks, Denise. And I've known Denise for a million years, and they're great partners with us, and we work well together. And their advisors really know what they're talking about. So please, when you're ready to book, go to Higgins Travel. But today we would just want to spend the next 25 minutes or so really talking about North America and what's out there. And the world is waiting for us. We know that we're going to rise again. We know that we're going to be out traveling again. And we're so excited to show you some of the itineraries that we have. We're very optimistic for 2001 and beyond. We know that there's a vaccine coming. We have already sent out 2 tours the last couple months into North America and really worked on our protocols and made sure that everybody was safe and sound. And so let's talk about some exciting things. And if you have any questions, you can certainly contact Higgins Travel later on today and ask any of them your questions. But first, I have to show you, here is myself, but you can see me in person. But I also have my little sound effects buddy, Saffron. We're all working from home these days, and so we all have our little sound effects behind us. So I apologize in advance if Saffron gets so excited about our talk today. So let's talk about the Globus family of brands. We've been around for more than 90 years. We're actually going into our 93rd year. And that's very exciting. We've been through a lot. We've been through the Spanish flu and a World War II, and we've been through 9/11 and many things out there. So please know that your money is safe with us. Know that you can book with us, and before final payment, if you get nervous, you can move that booking to another date or another product of ours, and we will keep you safe. Now, we do travel all over the world, over 500 vacations in 73 different countries. We have many different products, and the staff at Higgins can really help you with which product is good for you at what time. We have riverboat cruises, a little bit more private touring, all the way up to fully escorted. So we're going to talk about Globus first. Globus is kind of our mothership of all of our products. She is the oldest brand in our portfolio, and she's fully escorted, fully first class touring. And we'll talk about some of the different things that we have with the Globus family of brands that makes it such a perfect vacation. We have great hotels, amazing food, incredible sightseeing, and above all, we imagine creating memories throughout your vacation. What we picture is to not have you organize any of your things, but really have a stress-free vacation. Now, one of the things that I really like is we have what's called our local favorites. Every time you go into a city, there's all those things that you have to see, but then there's those things that you don't know about. And we have our local favorites in every city. And it's things like perhaps going into a house and making a dish of some sort in that particular country. Or perhaps it's going to a painting class. Or perhaps, you're going to see some sheep shearing at some gentleman's farm. All those kinds of fun things that are really local favorites. And what's nice about it is we have VIP access. We are one of the oldest and the largest tour companies in the world. And because of our relationships in every single country, we have what's called our VIP skip all the lines. And those lines are really all about going into back doors or going into side doors. And this way you don't have to worry if perhaps you are, you want to do something in the afternoon, but we're going to get you into these destinations quicker so you have a little bit more time. Or perhaps the weather is maybe too sunny or just a little drizzly. This way we get you in quick, get you to see the sights, and then have some free time on your own. Now our tour directors are second to none. In fact, they actually have to work for somebody else for 10 years before they can even apply to us. So that makes sure that you have the best tour guides out there. They have all been trained in all of our protocols and all of our safety issues right now. They are cleaning coaches and cleaning luggage and sanitizing everything. So in addition to their regular just tour director jobs, they are doing a lot more. And the other product I'm going to talk about some of our tours today is Cosmos. So now we talked about Globus, first of all. Globus is our 5-star, staying in 4 and 5-star hotels, and all the hotels are city center. Now Cosmos is our budget brand, so it's a little bit less expensive. And those are 3 and 4-star hotels, and we don't have as many included tours. So people will like to do Cosmos. Perhaps they've gone to London and they've seen all the main sites. Now they want to go and they want to stay a little bit outside the city center. They want to see some different things and have a little bit more free time so that they can see some of the things that they want to do. The Cosmos still offers innovative itineraries, smart hotels, just the right amount of sightseeing on your tour. Of course, our experienced tour directors. All of our products have our new motor coaches. We really balance the sights and the leisure. And again, you'll have that personalized touring. So you'll have a little bit more free time so that your tour director can help you find just exactly what you want to do on your tour. And we talk about just the right amount of sightseeing. It's really just right sightseeing is a combination of included sites, inside visits, and orientation sightseeing, depending on the city. This helps our guests get acclimated to that destination and checks off some of the big things that they need to see, but yet gives you a little bit time for that independent exploration. So let's talk about some of our North America's most popular tours, really about writing home and about home. There's really some amazing wonders at home. And it's so funny because I've been in this business a long time. And, you know, people would always say, well, I'm not going to do North America until I'm all done with Europe, or I've done South America. Well, now is the perfect time to see our parks here, to see our beauty. We forget just how beautiful our country is. And so while we have this little pause and perhaps some of our international touring, we have some great products, and I'll talk about some of our tours. So really think about some of the tours that we're going to look at. Perhaps get a little piece of paper, jot something down if something excites you. And you can also get a full brochure from Higgins. You can also get it online from them. Excuse me. So our first tour is a 10-day and 9-night America's National Parks. Now, I don't know if you have the pictures on the right, so hopefully you can see this particular map, but this is really traveling all the way from Rapid City to Salt Lake City. This tour is a little bit on the go. So we do rank all of our tours and how active they are, how leisurely they are. This one's a little bit on the go pace, but you're going to be seeing Yellowstone National Park, Grand Teton National Park. And if you haven't been over to the Grand Tetons in Wyoming, they're absolutely beautiful. Very well known for a ski resort. In the summer, you get to see all the beauty. So some of the local favorites that you're going to see, you're going to have a sightseeing at the Grand Teton National Park with a huckleberry shake. And you'll also have a chuck wagon cookout in Jackson. Now, if that national park isn't up your alley, how about Hawaii? You know, Hawaii is always popular. And this year in 2021, we're seeing even more of an upsurge because people were thinking about going overseas and they want something a little bit more exotic. They're looking to go into Hawaii. So we have 3 different tours in Hawaii. We have a 3-island, a 4-island, and then we have a 10-night, which includes a 7-night cruise with NCL. So you're going to have time, you can do some snorkeling, you can see the beauty of Kauai, or, you know, absolutely just relax in those warm sands. Some of the local favorites that you're going to see is the Kona Coffee Living History Music Farm. You're going to have a luau and a Polynesian show, and you're going to go to the Kauai Coffee Company plantation. So if you're thinking about Hawaii and you want to do it in 2001, certainly talk to the people at Higgins, because this one, we're not doing it in first quarter this year for obvious reasons. So for the people that want to go into September and October, this one is a great opportunity. Now going up into the states a little bit higher, Northern California. This is an awesome tour. This is also a national parks tour. This magnificent Northern California tour blends the sights of sophisticated San Francisco with the inspired rugged beauty found in California's national parks and picturesque areas. One of my favorite areas on this particular tour is you're going to go up the Pacific Coast Highway, which if you haven't done it, is an absolutely beautiful drive. This is a 8-night trip from Seattle to San Francisco, a little bit on the active pace. Some of the things that you're going to do is ride the train and visit a logging museum in Elbe. You're going to have a behind the scenes tour and dinner at the Oregon Coast Aquarium, and you'll have a jet boat ride in Gold Beach. So again, a lot of fun, lots of different things that you can do on this particular tour. Now let's move all the way over to the other side of the country. And this is a Cosmos tour. So you're going to find the pricing is going to be a little bit less than a Globus tour. But I love this tour more so than driving, because if you've been to any of these locations, you don't want to drive to these places. It's very difficult to park in Washington, D.C. and in New York and all the way up. So you get a great driver. It's going to take you all the way. They're going to get you as close as they can. Now this tour, I will be honest, is a bit of a walking tour, because we cannot get the buses right up into the mall in Washington, D.C. In New York, we kind of take our chances. But this is an absolutely beautiful way to see all the history in the great East Coast. So you're going to be having a local guide in Boston, in New York City, in Philadelphia, and the DC area. You'll see the Freedom Trail in Boston. You'll be in New York Times Square and Ellis Island. And Ellis Island has a fabulous tour where you get earphones and they walk you through, and it feels like you actually were one of the immigrants that came through Ellis Island. They'll have you sit where the people sat. There's noise talking in the background. And so it really feels like you've gone through there. Very emotional, but very well worth it. So definitely, if you're looking for some fall colors, look at perhaps going in the fall next year. And let's go even more north on the other side. Let's go into Canada. Now, this is an awesome tour. I will tell you, these are the cities that you go to see those most beautiful hotels that are continually rated 5-star, some of the best hotels in the entire world. And so you're going to start in Calgary. You're going to see Banff National Park. You're going to see these wonderful ice fields and take this little ice buggy through the ice fields, and you're going to be on top of a glacier, which is 75 feet deep. Just a really beautiful place. We'll take you up to Jasper National Park, come on over to Kamloops, and we'll end in Vancouver, where we're going to take you over to Victoria, which is a tiny little island off of Vancouver. Very European, wonderful shops and little eateries, and it's a wonderful place to end your tour. So again, that's on a Cosmos tour, so a little bit less costly, and that is a beautiful, beautiful tour. So it's talking about, this land was made for you and me, talking about some of exploring our national parks, some Alaska, some classic fall foliage, and then ending up in the American West. So here's a great tour, 14 nights. So this is round trip Vegas. So of course you're going to want to go in a couple days early or stay a couple days late to get that, get all your money back. But this tour, if you are a national parks aficionado, you want to take this. This is 8 national parks that you're going to see. You're going to see the Grand Canyon National Park, the Arches National Park, Mount Rushmore, Custer State Park, Yellowstone National Park, Grand Teton National Park, Bryce Canyon National Park, and ending up in Zion National Park. So you're going to see all the different rock formations. You're going to see the beautiful sunsets and sunrises if you choose to get up that early, to see the spectacular colors and how it changes on all the various mountains. This is, again, a little bit on the go. We'll be doing a little bit of walking. We're going to have a 4-wheel drive tour in Monument Valley. We're going to have a Navajo cookout in Monument Valley. In my younger years, I did some work with the Navajos, and they cook fabulous food. They make a fry bread that is so good that you just won't want to stop eating it. And we're also going to have a buffalo safari and a cookout in Custer State Park. So again, that's exploring America's national parks. And I will tell you, here's one of my favorite places in the world to go, Alaska. I'm already planning on a tour in 2022 to go back, and I've been there many, many times. And it's just an awesome, beautiful place. You look at this, and I always tell a story about my husband. We were on a cruise in Alaska, and I'll tell you, at 4 o'clock in the morning, we're gonna pull out to the glaciers. Well, he got up, ran out on the balcony. Of course, in his underwear, and he just stood there streaming with tears because it was the most beautiful sight that he had ever seen. Now we do have a Land Alaska, which is a 9-night package, round trip anchorage. We also have Alaska that's included with Holland America Cruises. So it'll include some land, and then it will include, of course, your tour. So if you're thinking about Alaska, we know that it's going to be busy because all the people that couldn't go this year are wanting to go next year. So certainly talk to the people at Higgins and really get that booked early, whether you're going in 2021 or 22. Now to get back into a little bit more warmth over here, the classic fall foliage. Yeah, this is always popular. So again, this is one of those tours, if you want to go in the fall foliage in 2021, please talk to them because you want to get this booked early. This is an 8-night, beautiful colors, of course. You're going to see all of the East Coast. You can see that we're going up from Boston to Boston, and then you get to go up the coast and the water, see Portland, Harbor, North Conway, come around to the other side. We'll end up in Stockbridge, Mystic Seaport. Just a beautiful drive in beautiful colors. You'll really get to see a lot of fun things. And we're going to have a lobster bake in Bar Harbor. We're going to have a local treat at the Acadia National Park and a colonial style dinner at the Salem Cross Inn. And the Salem Cross Inn is over 100 years old, and it's a beautiful place, historical hotel that you'll be staying at. Now, here's another one. Look at this. If you can't even read this, it's just so exciting. But this is a 13-night loaded packaged tour that circles the American West. And Mother Nature has loaded the West with stunning scenery. And on this national parks tour, you'll witness some of those nature's finest. From red rock formations and breathtaking canyons to free-flowing rivers and alpine landscapes, you will just marvel at the magnificent scenery. So some of the highlights on this include Arches National Park, of course, the Grand Canyon, and the Mesa Verde National Park, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So certainly if you really want to get in a lot of cities, get in a lot of those places, think about doing this tour. Now let's go to our friends to the north into Canada and talk about turning over a new maple leaf. So we're going to talk about some of my favorite areas and some of our Canadian tours that we have coming up. Look at this, the historic cities of Eastern Canada. This is an 8-night going from Toronto to Montreal. And these are beautiful areas. And this is also an area, Toronto and Montreal are places that are very, very busy to drive. So if you don't have to drive, take our motor coach and have an enjoyable time and be able to look out those windows. And of course, you're going to see Niagara Falls. You're going to see a winery visit and tasting on Niagara on the lake. You're going to have a beaver tail pastry, which is a beautiful, wonderful little pastry. You'll have dinner in Old Town, Quebec City, featuring some regional French cuisine. And you'll also have breakfast at a traditional sugar shack. So if you're looking to get in some of those great cities of Canada, this might be a tour for you. Now, another one of my favorites, this is a Newfoundland and Labrador. This is an 11-night, 12-day. This is one of my favorite because these are really off those beaten path places that a lot of people don't go to. And they don't normally drive up into this area unless you are on a motor coach. So there's ferry crossings, there's some cruises. You're going to visit several UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It's a wonderful place of Newfoundland and Labrador. You're going to have overnights in Corner Brook, Plum Point, St. Anthony, Rock Harbor, all kinds of places. You're going to be in Gander. And if you don't know anything about Gander, if anybody has seen the musical Come From Away, this Come From Away is about Gander. And Gander was very important on 9/11 when we had 70-some planes coming from Europe and they were in the air. They had to land someplace outside the United States, and they landed in Gander. And so if you can imagine, you know, thousands of people came off these planes, and there were not hotels. They just did not have the capacity for people. And this tiny little town embraced everybody and said, you know, I live 4 blocks down in a little white house in the corner. Go on in, take whatever you need, get some food if you need different clothes, because the people couldn't take their luggage off the plane either. So they still to this day have reunions, and they've started scholarship funds for the kids in gander, and it's been a really, really neat experience. So if you ever have the chance to read some history on gander, and I know it'd be great if you could go and take a visit there on this tour. Then we have the Grand Western Canada Vacation, 12-night round trip out of Vancouver. And this is, gives you the opportunity to enjoy many of Canada's most scenic areas as you travel some of its national parks and mountain towns. So you're going to have time to spend in Banff National Park, Jasper National Park, Whistler, which is a ski resort in the winter, Sun Peaks, Victoria, Vancouver, and British Columbia's wine country. So this is a beautiful tour. Again, you're going to have some of those gorgeous, stunning hotels, lots of golfing in the summer. If you're taking a summer tour, you're going to have an opportunity to visit Butchart Gardens, and you're going to have a gondola ride up to Banff Sulphur Mountain with breakfast and sightseeing. So some beautiful sites, and you're not too high in elevation. So this elevation is only about 7,500 feet. So sometimes people think that it's a lot higher than that, but it really isn't. And last but not least, or that was last but not least, our last Canada tour. But that is all that I have for you today. I want to thank you for taking the time to be with us. This has been a great opportunity, and we really hope that you're looking forward to getting out of your armchair and looking at everything and really seeing what we have to offer for 2021 and beyond.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Nancy. It looks like we have one question so far from Mark, and he wants to know if witches are in the Salem Hotel.
I'm sorry, what? What was
Mark wants to know if there are witches in the Salem Hotel.
Oh, I don't know if there's witches, but I have heard there are ghosts there. So you just want to be prepared.
Take your chances.
Lock down your things. I heard they were friendly ghosts, though.
That's good. That's good.
Thank you, Mark. Now you have to go and tell us if there are witches or ghosts there.
Yeah, you'll have to report back to us, Mark. All right. Well, I'm not seeing any more questions right off the bat here. Let me just look on Facebook here. No, not at this time. So if anybody's watching later, if you come up with any other questions that you have, make sure you give our office a call, 715-834-2686. We have two amazing agents there right now, Heidi Desjardins and Karen Hurlbert. You are in amazing hands if you aren't already working with them. And if anybody watched our Facebook Live from earlier this morning, since we are having this webinar today with Globus, we are waiving all of our service fees if you book with Globus this week. So you just have to get your deposit down. And yeah, hopefully you guys can find something here in the US that you're looking for. I know you had touched on it a little bit in the beginning here, but a lot of people have that same mentality, like, oh, I'll just do the US. Once I get done traveling the world, I'll do the US. And I'm guilty of it too. But since, we can't really go many places right now, the US is a perfect opportunity to get some travel in, to itch that travel bug itch and get out there. So with that, if there's no other questions, thank you again, Nancy, and thank you to everyone else that is watching or watching later.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thanks, Nancy. See you guys later.